Hey guys, Keith from Divorce the Horse here, and it's build day. Today we're going to put in this divider wall and make it permanent. And I'm actually going to measure it out and cut a doorway in it right there and insulate the interior with a sheet of foam, and then sandwich with another piece of plywood so it looks nice. And then make a door plug that I can take in and out because I want to be able to use my rear view mirrors when I'm driving. Very important in a big oversized vehicle like this to be able to use your rear view mirrors. And I'm just tired of this thing floating around, bouncing around in the back of the Betty. So come along and see what we're doing today. Here we are at my new favorite store, Menards, to pick up some supplies for the job. It's going to include a sheet of foam insulation, probably about a 1/2 inch thick or a 1/4 inch thick. Gonna need some paneling, gonna need some brackets to bracket this wall into place once it's done, probably like the L-shaped brackets with the screw holes in the top and the bottom. That should do the job. Some Gorilla Tape to seal up the seams, and a few other odds and ends. Let's go in. Look at all this stuff you could put into your vehicle. Just ready to go. Crazy, huh? Headed back to the plywood section, see what we can find. All right, here we go. There it is. There's the stuff I need. There's a price per sheet. Found the insulation. This is insulation for the pipe, and that's great. I love this place. It's like a toy store for builders. Never thought I'd get into this stuff, you know, guys, because I was really more of a costume maker and a prop maker for the film business. That's kind of what I went to school for. But doing this van build, this is fun. I'm putting way too much money into it though, gotta be honest with you. But I can't help myself. The place is starting to look nice. So I got all the stuff I needed and some things I really didn't. And now it's out to the van to finish off part of the build. Got some Velcro to hold my wall in, my little divider plug there, and a no smoking self-adhesive sign. So that'll show up between the seats on the wall when I put the plug in. Makes it look a little more industrial, I think. Just one of those little stealth hidey thingies. Anyway, off to the van we go. So what we have here is the original divider wall that I just kind of stuffed in and took out when I was driving. And I measured off where I want to cut. And basically between this line here and that line there is going to be the opening for the doorway. And this line here is going to leave about 6 inches to the top so that there's a strip that goes across the top, you know, so it's solid and it connects. Over here is the new paneling I have for the inside. I'm going to put this piece as it is facing the other inside of the van, the cab area, because it's a little bit damaged from bouncing around in the back. And this piece will be the other side of the wall. And I went to Menards and bought 1/4 inch sheet foam insulation, and this will go between the two layers to firm it up and add some insulation factor so it stays a little bit warmer in the Betty next fall. So what I've done now is I've outlined the area that I'm going to cut out. We're going to cut it out and use it as a stencil for the other piece, and then the foam, and pretty much just glue everything into place with some liquid nails caulking, and she'll be good to go. So let's move on to the next step. As you can see, we've got our archway cut out, and we're going to use it as a pattern on the new piece of paneling because it's just going to go back to back with this. And like I said, then we'll cut out the foam and put that in place. We're good to go. Build the door plug. Now you guys can kind of see what I'm up to here. I'm just building that little corridor there. Had a little bit of accident. That piece broke off at the top. We had to tape it together. I'm going to stick that on the inside of the cab so I could keep the good, you know, wood look going on inside. And then I took my Sharpie marker here and I outlined the inside of this area. We're going to cut that out as well, and then basically glue that piece that is left to the back side of the wood paneling for insulation and support. Now that we got the lines drawn in, we're just making the cuts here to replicate the archway that we made with the, paneling. And this is going to give our paneling a support, but it's going to be flexible enough that I can still get in there to put it in, and it'll hold itself in place. Those are the hands of Super Dave, Grillmeister Dave himself, making those cuts. This is a really easy job, actually. You just need the right tools, a couple of power saws to cut your paneling down to size. That's helpful. You need some sawhorses, to support your work while you do it. Because let me tell you, that 5-inch top is really thin and breaks easy when you're cutting it if you're not supporting it properly. Here's what we're doing next, guys. I've got some all-important liquid nails, and this stuff works great. I'm going to put this stuff between the paneling and the foam, both on all sides, and then going to put some weight on top of it and let it set up for a while, a couple hours before we put it in the beddy. But that's the next step to making your permanent divider wall. Cheers. This whole project probably cost about $60, $70 to build this wall. But it's worth it, because once I'm inside and it's sealed up, it's going to look more like a log cabin, a home, than inside of a van with some curtains to block the places, where the light can get out. And that's kind of what I'm after here for, a little bit of luxury. As it turns out, you're going to need probably 3 tubes of liquid nails to finish the job. I might be able to do it in 2. You don't have to totally coat it, just dab it in these little dots like I did here. That's just the perfect amount on there to get the sealing action that you need to hold the 2 pieces of plywood and the foam together. Now that I've laid down my upper layer of paneling, you can see what I've achieved with the project. This is how it goes. I let this liquid nails dry, and believe me, once you stick this on there, it sticks. It's good. I'll let that dry for about half an hour, 40 minutes. In the meantime, we're going to move on to the door plug so I can seal myself in. And we're going to do this exact same process with the pieces of plywood, or excuse me, not plywood, but paneling that I cut out from the holes and the leftover foam to make a door that will fit in there and Velcro into place from the inside, so I can leave it out while I'm driving and seal myself in at night. Well, I've got that extra piece of foam, and as you can see, I stuck it in over the back side of the spare paneling that's going to be my door plug, and intentionally left about a inch and a half space on all sides of the foam, because this is fitting into that hole, and then where that extra wood is where my Velcro strips are going to go to hold the door in place when I'm inside at night. And then I'm going to take the other broken piece of paneling and stick it right over the back side of this, and that's the side that'll go inside the cab area, so it won't matter that it's a little broken on the bottom. I won't see it. Once the paneling is glued in place with the liquid nails, I just put some heavy objects from Dave's garage, thanks Dave, to add a little bit of extra weight to pull them down in the drying process. You can see that my doorway here, my door plug, is almost ready to go. Like I said, just some Velcro strips along these areas. Not a lot, just enough to hold it into place while I'm sleeping. Block out the light, make me feel like I'm in a log cabin. Later on, I'll probably put some trim around the door and put a little fake handle on the other side just to, make it cute. I know what you're thinking. This guy is crazy. Maybe. But, I wouldn't be normal if I was living in a van. So there you go. And I actually enjoy it very, very much. It's a sense of freedom you can't explain. And I look forward to the camping season coming up. Now, once this gets dried, we'll put it into place and move on to the next part of the door. Sealing it into place and getting my Velcro on. So hold on while the glue dries. Finally, we're inside the van, got the divider wall up and in place, and I have to get some mounting brackets to permanently mount it there. Although I just wanted to take the second, guys, to show you something, and that's the difference between an insulated van and a non-insulated van. Now, I know a lot of you are like, how much difference can it make? Well, let me tell you how much difference it can make. Right now, it is 43 degrees outside, 43 degrees. I'm inside the van. I have front heaters only in this van because it was a cargo van. I've been in here approximately 25 minutes, and I'm going to show you what the temperature is inside the van with the doors sealed. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, 89 degrees. 89 degrees inside the back of my van because of my insulation. And if that's just not proof enough for you, I don't know what to tell you. But if you're in a cold climate, use your Reflectix. Put that in on your walls. Wall your stuff in. Use insulation in your ceiling. It does make a difference. Even my divider wall, as you can see, has a layer of insulation in it. And totally worth, look at that. It's already gone up to 90 degrees in those last few seconds that we've been talking to. If I leave this running, I'm gonna roast to death in here. Right now we got the divider wall going in. I've got to do some lining along the top and the sides there. But basically you can see what I'm going for here. And I'm gonna put some curtains in, I think, and so I can leave that open and get some air in and not seal it up completely for when it gets hot in the summertime. I can crack the windows and let the air roll in, and it'll come in through there even when the door is plugged up. I bet you're wondering how I filled in the seams on this thing, you know, between the sandwich layers of my door here, and I'm going to show you. Here's the answer to the question: Gorilla Tape. This stuff's tough, sticks to everything. I used it instead of duct tape, and I just ran up the seam like that, across the top. See, it doesn't look bad at all. And back down the other side here. I gotta finish it up on the inside. But that's holding the walls together even more, and you know, doing a little finish trim job on it at the same time. And the roll of tape here cost me like $6 at Target. Well worth it on these sorts of projects. Look how nice that looks, huh? That's Gorilla Tape, black Gorilla Tape, lining the seams of my doors where the foam would be exposed. And I just covered up with Gorilla Tape. But, you know, look how nice that looks. Not bad for a $5 roll of tape, huh? These are the things I bought to finish the build. This is a pipe insulation. It's got a self-adhesive. That's going to go right along top of there and fill in that gap there. I got some industrial grade Velcro, 15 pounds. That's going to go on the inside of the door trim here, and also up in certain places on the door hole. So that'll hold her in place when we're sleeping. I got my no smoking sign for the back side of this, and I got some L brackets. These are going to go into the floor in front of the wall, bolting it to the floor, and then bolting the wall, you know, to the other portion of the L bracket to hold the wall in place, keep it from moving around. So this is how I'm doing this. I'm putting the first one down, and you're hearing it, and then I'm going to piggyback the second one right on top of it to fill in my gap up the top. Here's the finished product on the wall plug. I duct taped it up with duct tape and Gorilla Tape. Did the seams. This wood part that you see here will be on the inside of my cab, facing the, you know, the driver's seat area. And then eventually I'll get some decorative handles and put them on the back side so I can pull it out. But let's get this baby installed. Next part of the project, as you see, I have two little L brackets that I was talking about. I'm going to put those in the floor right there and in the wall to hold the wall in place. I'll use a larger one on that wall because the bed hides it, gives it more support. You can see what I did, like I said, with the insulating pipe wraps. They were about $7 a piece. Took 3 of them to fill in the gap above, but it looks nice. And we're going to put that in. And then the no smoking sign goes on the inside of the door. This is the cabin area and what it'll look like. I got my no smoking sign up there. Gonna do a little more tape trimming to equal that out and make it look nice around the edges, a little bit that. But when she's sealed up, you know, this is my interior. It's changed greatly, and I like the improvements. This is the test. Okay, I can see myself. I can see out my mirror, as you can see in the back. Same view I always had before the wall went in. Goal accomplished. Measuring, guys. Measuring. There's my final project, guys. I know it doesn't quite line up perfectly. I still have to put my Velcro in to hold it in place when it's up. But that's what it looks like. There's my door. I'll probably put like a pair of twin fancy brass handles kind of in the middle to dress it up. And I'm building some customized lighting sconces that are very decorative. They're going to go here, and exactly on the other side it'll be LED light run strips, but very decorative to kind of spruce things up for when the door is shut and I'm inside. You know, like I said, I want to keep it fancy in here. And I know you're like, this is fancy, but for me it is. It's comfy. And well, then we'll get the TV in next. So, and the solar panels, and this whole ceiling is going to come down and be redone properly. So more projects to come. Appreciate that you drop by and, you know, watch my videos. Please subscribe, it really helps. More videos to come on building out your van interior. I'll make the mistakes so you don't have to, and save you some money, because let me tell you, you know, Menards stuff isn't cheap if you're going to do it up right inside your van. And you just, you know, you want to get it right the first time. But anyway, this is Keith from the Divorce the Horse. Love you guys. Thanks for the support, and have a great day. See you in the next video.